Good afternoon, welcome along to the Bunnings Warehouse Provincial Rugby Heartland Championship here at Boyd Park in Te Aroha, our second home game for the Thames Valley Swamp Foxes, as both teams are out there on Boyd Park hosting Canterbury, who travelled up. This is round 5 and this is the live broadcast thanks to Ctas Live, who are providing us the wonderful images that you're going to be seeing throughout today. My name's Reno Wilkinson, next to me I've got Scotty Day and of course the legend himself, Ross Cooper. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon, Reno. It's a beautiful day at Te Aroha today. The weather couldn't be better. Conditions are perfect. The ground looks spectacular. And Marcus is making a lot of noise over the loudspeaker, but that's what you get in Thames Valley.
Yeah, good morning, Reno, and good afternoon, Reno, and good afternoon to you, Ross. A beautiful day here in Te Aroha. It's an absolute spectacle up here in the grandstand, and we're really looking forward to an evenly matched contest here. Round 5 of the competition. It's warming up. And I think for Thames Valley, this is going to be their biggest test of the campaign so far. So let's hope it lives up to its expectations, gentlemen.
Exactly. Let's rewind back a week ago. You know, the team went down the line, had a tough game, but they come home with a good win.
Yeah, very first win in the Heartland Championship for Thames Valley down against West Coast. So a few of the boys were battled and bruised, and unfortunately for the Swamp Foxes, there's been a couple of late changes today because of that, which we'll touch on later in the stream. But yeah, gents, it's warming into a very good competitive competition this year. Wouldn't you agree, Coops?
I think, yeah, they had a good win down at West Coast. To get down there and come away with a win. It's not an easy place to play, as you've just said, the first win in the Heartland competition, and of course big loss for Guns McCann out of today's fixture. I'm sure Sione will do equally as well. So it's going to be a really important game for both teams, with Canterbury looking to get up a level. They're on currently 6th, and Thames Valley need this win because, you know, the Levin crowd are going quite well as well. Hora Whenua Kāwari and, of course, King Country. Now, King Country haven't had a good season, but they could upset us. So it'll be interesting to see how both teams fire up today. But I'm really looking forward to it, Reno.
Yeah, looking forward to it, Coots. Scotty, it's going to be a brilliant day, and I hope you enjoy the stream as well. All the action as it unfolds here at Boyd Park. As we said, it's a beautiful day looking at the mountain up there, blue sky. Lovely day out there. Hope everyone out there today has also jumped on board and supported the Super Saturday. Got your vax and everything like that. It's up and down the country, and everyone's doing their little bit today as well. So the cases is 41, the number count that came through this afternoon. So, you know, numbers are going down. But this is what we do. We bring you a delivery, a live stream of the rugby action here at Boyd Park, and looking forward to it. It's not too far away from kick-off. Let's go through the Thames Valley team there, Scotty.
Yeah, number 1, we have Tahuia Kutua, and number 2, Sam van der Valk. 3, Sefo Moniati. 4, Cameron Dromgold. 5, Connor McVeary. 6, Matt McCann. 7, Frederick K. Fotofili. 8, Matty Axtons. 9, co-captain and Ben Bonner. 10, Toddy Doolan. 11, Tavita Halafihi, the danger man. Number 12, the late change there, and Sione Vakapuna Atoni moving into the midfield. Number 13, Harry Lafatuanai, the try-scoring machine. Number 14, Joe Cook, and rounding out the starting 15, we have Tali Himapo of the Whangamata Club. And going into the reserves, we have number 16, Cody Muir. Number 17, Trinity McQueen. Number 18, Tyler Ralph. 19, Ryan Leopold. 20, Jax Kingsford. 21, Leroy Neals, and 22, rounding out the 22 today, Will Newbold. As you can see there, the management is quite a large group of fellas, so we'll move on to Mid-Canterbury now, and we'll give that to you, Reno?
Yeah, throw me in the deep end there, mate, with the visitors, and let's have a go at naming the team for today. Number 1, Adam Williamson. Number 2, it's Cullen Barrell. And number 3, Karish Brook, Tumai Latai. And number 4, the Barnstormer, Manasi Bari. And also with his good friend at number 5, Tapasu Thomas. And number 6 is Shepard Imbere. And number 7 is Ashton McCarthy. Number 8 takes out the 4-pack of Setu Korai Tamana. In the backs at halfback, we've got the ever-present Harvey Blythe. At number 10, Tom Riki. And number 11 is Tate Chisman. And number 12, Nick Foxley. And number 13, another barnstorming centre, is Isirili Masawini. And number 14, I had a good chat with him just a couple of minutes ago, Raitupi Vasura Kakuta. And at number 15 is Nathan McCloy, who rounds out the starting 15 for Mid-Canterbury. Reserves, Jose Leo, Brad Tarbottom, also Lotti Maisiga, and also Michael Hennings, Liam McCormick, George Williams, and Balvali Sofai wraps out the 22 for Mid-Canterbury. Scotty and Coots, two teams both out there. You can hear them. They're boisterous. They energise. Let's hope they have some energy for the next 80 minutes. But they're here to play footy in beautiful weather.
Yeah, I think you look at the Mid-Canterbury side, Reno, one area that worries me a little bit is the size of their forwards, and the line-out's a bit of a concern for me today. They've got some very tall jumpers, so hopefully Thames Valley have addressed that. And the other area is the ruck, of course. It's a bit of a worry as well. We've been giving away too many penalties at going off our feet at the rucks, and I know that's a work on for the team. But both teams look evenly matched. A lot of noise, so a lot of enthusiasm, as you just said, but interestingly, pretty close number of wins between each of the two unions, if you look at the stats.
Moving on to today's match officials, we welcome Cam Stone out of Taranaki. Now, Cam Stone, obviously in the top flight referees in New Zealand, so very warm welcome to you, Cam. He'll be assisted by Ryan Rogers and Aaron Miller, with the match manager of Mike Dilnott, sub-controllers Kelvin Whittihana and James Higgins. Simon Craggs will be our timekeeper today, and Miller Caxon of the Waihi Athletic Junior Rugby Club will be running the waters for Cam today on a very hot day at Boyd Park. Looking at both teams, Coops, I do have to agree, a very big physical side, Mid-Canterbury, and they played on the artificial turf last weekend against Wairapa Bush, of which when they had ball in hand they were dangerous, and I think if they can hold possession for long periods today, it's going to be tough for Thames Valley, and they haven't been tested this far in the competition, as you can see on the Bunnings Heartland points table, Reno.
Exactly, Scotty. You know, King Country still to get some points alongside with Buller, who came here last time for our first home game for the season. Gave it to the Swampies, by the way, but lost in the end. Wairapa Bush on 1 point for the table at the moment. East Coast, who has a former All Black, Ma'anunu, playing for the Ngāti Porou East Coast team today. They got 3 points. West Coast 6 points. Poverty Bay on 11, North Otago 14, Whanganui on 15, as well as Mid-Canterbury are here today on 15, Horowhenua Kapiti on 18, Thames Valley 19, and South Canterbury on top by 1.20 there. Obviously with that bonus point, that's all it is. That comes down to, but today it's all about the action. It's 2 versus 4 as we get ready to count down to kick-off at Boyd Park here in Te Aroha. 2 o'clock. It's good to see a crowd, open gate, and everyone's here as well. So good to see the vocal crowd here coming along to support the Swamp Foxes for their second home game for the Bunnings Warehouse Heartland Championship.
It's interesting to see the crowd on the other side, Reno.
Yep.
Equally spaced. The old spacing still applies. So good on the Thames Valley locals for coming out and supporting the boys today. And it's a beautiful day. Conditions are perfect. And hopefully the rugby lives up to expectations.
Yeah, just touching on that, Coops. Fortunately, due to Sport New Zealand's announcement, there are no specific bubbles, but to all of our spectators here today, they will be trying their best to comply with 1 metre distancing. So we have done our best to try and space things out today, and we have got a few beer and refreshments. So I hope for you guys at home you're doing the same, settling in for a good afternoon. Had a beautiful scenic Boyd Park today, and a big thank you to the sub-union members here of Te Araha for being here nice and early, setting up, and all of the extra stuff that make for the fine running of the competition.
Once you get through this game, the whole commentary is kicking off in a couple of minutes. Thames Valley Labour Weekend will head down to Levin Domain. They are taking on Horowhenua Kapiti. Then, of course, back home, there's a double header on the 30th of October. King Country come to Boyd Park, and then the following weekend, Whanganui. So the competition is getting tougher, gentlemen. The first few games have had some good wins there, and last time we were here together commentating, they had Buller. Buller played a good 60 minutes, but once one player went off, everything fell off, the wheels fell apart. Didn't have enough energy to sustain and keep the Valley at bay, but you know, let's hope the Valley team don't do any ill-disciplined stuff and we get a good game, good running game on this beautiful day.
I think the biggest thing there is just to make sure we don't let their exciting backline get into action. They've got to double tackle these guys and force them to take they tend to revert back to the old T-boning. And so you've got to get up in front of their faces and put them on the ground. So that's going to be very important going forward. But as you said, Reno, very, very important stage of the competition going into the last sections of the Heartland 2021.
Yeah, for sure, Coops. I think both teams would have looked at this this match quite fondly this week. Obviously, a different final series as per past years, with 1 and 2 playing for the Meads Cup, number 3 and 4 playing for the Lahore Cup, and number 5 and 6 playing for a new trophy, of which I have forgotten the name of it. So,
Bill Osborne.
The Bill Osborne Cup. So I've heard it's a massive trophy, and people want to get their hands on it, but obviously 1 and 2 is what people want to play for, and this game, it's going to be a massive indicator of how these teams are going to finish later on in 4 weeks' time.
Yes, and just talking to Richard Foster, the acting GM, the Bill Osborne is going to be like a Ranfurly Shield trophy for the Heartland only, so that adds another layer to the competition going forward, which is very exciting.
Looking forward to that. Hey, don't forget to also, it's a big year next year, 2022. It's where the Thames Valley Rugby Football Union get to celebrate in August on the 26th and 27th, Friday, Saturday. Save those dates, by the way. It's the 100-year celebration of Thames Valley Rugby Football Union, 1922 to 2022. So there's the dates. Put that down on the calendar. Pop it in your phone. Put it in your calendar, wherever you do. That is the 26th, 27th, August 2022. As we get into it and build up to the game, the Mid-Canterbury team has just ran out onto the field into the beautiful weather, and please welcome our Mid-Canterbury. For all those that are viewing back home down in their province area, welcome on board, and hope you enjoyed the live stream. Rena Wilkinson, Scotty Day, Ross Cooper to keep you entertained for the next 80 minutes.
The big barreling number 8 there, Seta Kuroitamana, will be the captain today for Mid-Canterbury. He's been in impressive form this far in 2021 throughout the competition, grabbing himself more than a few tries, but also been a very much a handful. And we welcome in the Thames Valley side, led out by Conor McVeary and Ben Bonner, the co-captaincy. And their request this week was to come out to Eye of the Tiger, which you'll hear in the background, ladies and gentlemen. Late change if you've just joined us, with Sam Guns McCann being ruled out at second 5'8", which means Sione Vakapuna Atoni will move into the midfield, and Will Newbold will come on to the reserve bench in jersey number 22.
Just a note on the wingers for Thames Valley. Both Tavita Halafi and Joe Cook have been scoring some fantastic tries, making some great breaks, and let's hope today they get some good ball off Harry. And I'm looking forward to seeing how their backline stands up today against these big boys from Mid-Canterbury. So it'll be a real test, and I expect Mid-Canterbury, hopefully looking at them against Wairarapa the other day, to me, as an amateur, they look like they got a little bit tired towards the back end of the game last week. So I know the Thames Valley boys are particularly fit this year, and let's hope they go well.
Yeah, looking forward to the action as the whistle's ready to blow here at Boyd Park in Te Aroha, not too far away, when we get the action underway to be kicked off by the first 5 for Mid-Canterbury. Tom Riki will get the proceedings underway. Either Tiger, appropriate song, the team actually Thames Valley were out there during the warm-up singing it in a huddle as well. So getting themselves pretty amped. It's a good crowd here at Boyd Park. Beautiful day, and the whistle blows by the referee. We're underway with the action with the kickoff, Scotty.
Taken down by Joe Cook, getting his hands on the ball nice and early, which he'll be wanting for, and Ben Bonner will set up to go to Matty Axtons, the lone player out of Mount Maunganui, who came into the squad last week due to lockdown in Hamilton, and it looks like they're going to get out of here and try and get some territory early on with a box kick through Ben Bonner. Puts it up in the air and proves a nice difficult challenge there for Ratubi Vasukuta. This is that, and it gets taken then by Nathan McCloy. And they'll look to get into their work, which will excite Mid-Canterbury with a lot of potent attacking weapons. Thomas takes the ball in, looks to set, and halfback Blythe, he looks dangerous around the breakdown, and Kuroitamana, hands on the ball, the skipper there, and Bonner seems to have got his hands on it, and a nice turnover there, Cam Stone ruling hands on the ground. So we're going to have a penalty to Thames Valley inside their own half, and perfect opportunity for them to stamp their authority on this game, Coops.
Yeah, great work from Ben Bonner there, got over the ball pretty quickly. Dangerous run of that number 8, Bowery, is it? Manasa Bowery? What's his name?
Quarter of time up.
Oh, yeah. Cool. Great run from him, missed the tackle, and then Ben Bonner got the steal. So good work by him, and now we're hard on attack inside, or just outside the 22 on the grandstand side.
Good touch finder by Todd Doolan there as well, on loan from Morrinsville Sports, playing at number 10 for the Thames Valley Swamp Foxes as we get ready for the first line out of today's competition to be thrown in by Sam van der Valk. Getting ready, but the team, obviously the referee wants a bit more of a gap there, Scotty, and making sure he's got a good tunnel to get the ball down.
Yeah, as a hooker, truly, I'm sure Sam van der Valk will be appreciating that, and he's been on target his last 3 matches, so he'll be looking to start well, and he has done. Good set piece. Be interesting to see where they go here, and Vakapuna, Tony crashes in the midfield, which he does all season long for Cobra's club, and they'll feed it through, and Joe Cook again getting his hands on the ball and probing in tight. Ball's there, and it's going to be a turnover. Interesting what Cam Stone's blowing them here for, but it looks like, again, hands on the ground. And, again, this has been an area of concern, Coops, over the last couple of weeks for Thames Valley.
I thought the first time he went to ground, he was lucky not to be penalised. He held on to the ball, and then the big shove came in from behind, and then I think the hands went in at the ruck time. But it's an area they've been working on quite hard this week. When I was over here at training on Tuesday night, they were talking about the breakdown and the number of penalties they give away. So disappointing, but they'll still got good field position.
Tom Ricky finding the touch for the Mid-Canterbury, just 10 metres in their own half still for Mid-Canterbury. To throw it in is their hooker, Cullen Burrell. Getting ready, the team's all lined up right down the back. It goes way down the back.
Good dart from Burrell. Gives their team a nice attacking platform, and Karuitamana carries as he does all game long. They're going to look to go from the number 6 in Bimberi. Around the corner they go, but it looks like a bit messy over there, and it's going to be a penalty to Thames Valley. Unsure what went on there, but it looks like Dromgold's made himself present and caused a few problems for Mid-Canterbury. So early on, it looks like the ruck's going to be heavily contested today, gents.
Yeah, I think the ruck, again, as we keep saying, from last week was a major work on for the team, and it's good to see we got one back then. It's just about body positions and timing, isn't it, Reno, and making sure that you've got control of the body and don't go right over the player on the ground and put your hands on the ground. So it's a learning process. I see Dwayne Sweeney running out the tee there. Great man to have in the team, and all reports from the group, they appreciate his involvement this year.
Yeah, Dwayne Sweeney, a technical advisor for the Thames Valley Swamp Foxes this season as well. As Todd Dooley lies up maybe the first points of today with a penalty on the 10-metre line in the Mid-Canterbury half. So the weather's beautiful here at Boyd Park. We've got a good crowd in the grandstand, all spread out in their little distancing around the field as well, but it's a beautiful day. Just wondering whether or not we'll get the first points for today's action.
Interesting little observation, as I've never seen players join us in the grandstand, but obviously the heat down there, coaches have told them to come up and get some sun, get out of the sun. So Todd Doolan lining this up from 40 metres out, and going to be a good indication of what's to come today.
Great kick.
Great kick, as you might have heard a whisper there from Ross Cooper. Take your time. And he got it right down the middle there as well. So these are your first points for today. 3-0 here at Boyd Park, Thames Valley, with a penalty to the first 5, Todd Doolan.
Great to see the tandem tackling on that attack mounted before that penalty by Thames Valley, certainly getting into their back line.
Here's a get play underway with the first 5, Tom Riki kicking off, going down into the Thames Valley half.
Cook taken in the air there, and a nice easy penalty for Cam Stone. And again, ill-discipline from Mid-Canterbury, giving Thames Valley a nice easy exit, which no complaints there, I'm sure.
No arms in the tackle.
In the air.
All the rules broken.
Yeah, Todd Doolan's kicking game, obviously a real strength of his game, and Thames Valley, having missed that the last 2 weeks, him coming back, returning from injury. Obviously you can see that right knee quite heavily strapped today, but a lot of experience after playing Heartland Championship before for East Coast. Todd Doolan, he adds a lot to this Thames Valley team, and line out time through Van der Valk, and obviously went to the front of the line out last time. Be interesting to see where they hit now. Fotofili, the target down the back. Nice clean ball, and Vakapuna Tony, the banging ball. He bumps off the number 12 in Foxley. Again, the breakdown messy, and Cam Stone playing advantage. Bonner probing around the breakdown. not really going anywhere, and it's finally cleaned up, but no advantage by referee Cam Stone. Ross Cooper.
Yeah, I thought it was obviously a penalty, but Ben Bonner should have let that go, in my opinion. He had a little dab and it wasn't on. Maybe he knew the penalty was a given, so right in front, about 35, 36 metres out, so should be another 3 points for Thames Valley. Good kicker, this guy, isn't he? He's kicking well and a good player.
Yeah, we saw a couple of weeks ago how important it was to just continue letting the scoreboard click over, and Buller notched up 5 penalties in the first half, and it put Thames Valley under a lot of pressure. So good option taking by McVeary and Bonner, letting Todd Doolan try and kick some more points, and that he is very capable of doing. Conditions beautiful down there today, not much of a breeze, so it should be quite, I'm not going to jinx it, but it should be quite a straightforward kick. But I have seen funnier things, i.e. Northland last night, who cost me a bit of money on the TAB, but hey.
Ah, dear me.
I think you're fine, Scotty, us too. That's why we kept quiet there for a second.
Good follow through. Beautiful.
Beautiful. 6-0 to Thames Valley, another penalty there. Todd Doolan, another penalty in nearly the 8th minute of today's game. The fixture here at Boyd Park, beautiful conditions there, Scotty Day said as well. So 6-0 is the score at the moment. Getting ready for another kickoff by, of course, the first 5 for Mid-Canterbury, Tom Riki. And they haven't really had much of the ball, been a lot of penalties. Referee controlled by Cam Wilson in the middle there and taken by Thames Valley.
Messy again, but Mid-Canterbury not afraid to contest for the ball, and they've won it back. They'll look to go to town, especially through the prop in Carisbrook Tuamalatai. And they bounce back the other way through the skipper, Kuroi Tamana. Apologies. Getting a bit of width, and Williamson crashes it up. He's had a great season so far from what I've seen on the main freight rugby on a Thursday night, always involved in the highlight package. But a penalty yet again. Cam Stone for the 6th time already, and not a lot of time, 8 minutes in fact, has blown again another penalty.
Yeah, I think the ruck, he went off his feet there late, but I thought he had his hands on the ball in time to get the penalty, but Mid-Canterbury certainly did some work and took him to the to the right-hand side of that ruck. But now they're going Mid-Canterbury going into the corner, so this will be an interesting line-out for Thames Valley, and to see what Mid-Canterbury bring to the line-out, whether they put the big drive on. They've certainly got some height and some weight in their line-out in their forward pack.
Good touch finder there by the fullback, Nathan McCloy, as well as the hooker, Cullen Burrell. Throws it in, goes right down the back there as well to tall opposition as Mid-Canterbury drives, ball in hand. They can see the try line in sight. They're about 10 or 15 metres away from the try line.
Ball needing to keep the ball to the back, and as a good side does, they hit the back and they drive towards the goalpost, giving themselves options both ways. But
Valley boys are in there and got it.
They've got themselves through the middle, and it looks like it's going to be a turnover. Cam Stone saying that the ball was unplayable, and Thames Valley holding the ball up, so good forward effort. Very
good forward effort there. Marginal whether he came through the middle, but we'll give him that. The referee thought it was okay, so that's all that matters. But good work by the Valley forwards there. Held the ball up and got the turnover, and it was quite a way out for them to attempt to drive over. But, you know, you've got to give Mid-Canterbury some kudos for their attempt. But great defence from Thames Valley.
Going for a try, obviously, in the 10th minute with Mid-Canterbury trying, but the man of the moment there, Matt McCann, come on through, held the progress and got the ball back for Thames Valley as we see co-captain Ben Bonner getting ready to feed the scrum.
First scrum of the day as well, so it's going to be nice early signs to see where they're at up front, and obviously Thames Valley with prop Sefo Moniati, new prop there, and he's done well, earning himself the scrum penalty for Wheeling. Mid-Canterbury coaches up here in the grandstand aren't overly happy about it, but when aren't they? But it's going to be a nice, easy exit for
technical
Valley.
Penalty, really. They put the big shove on, but at the same time didn't keep it square. So we're very lucky, in my mind, to get that penalty, Scotty. But you know, you got to take your victories when you can have them. But looked dangerous, that scrum, if they'd kept it square, Mid-Canterbury.
And you are right, you made a comment earlier on in the broadcast, Scotty, the players, the managers, the coaches, everyone that's associated with both teams seem to be up in the grandstand, so that tells you how beautiful and hot we finally got some sunny weather as we get ready to continue play with the hooker for Thames Valley. Sam van der Valk gets ready to throw it into the back end. I'm guessing the back end of the line out here, or is it going to go the middle?
Yeah, misconnection there, but it looks like Todd Doolan's going to clean it up. Messy yet again, and unfortunately a slight knock on, which means Mid-Canterbury, they're in possession, they've got territory, and they've got themselves a great platform to get their backs involved and try and bounce back in this match.
Little unfortunate error there. I don't think they'd quite got the call correct, but nevertheless, as you say, Scotty, gives Mid-Canterbury a great attacking position. Blindside looks very inviting.
Yeah, it sure does. The danger man in Koroi Tamana. He's got also outside him number 14, Vasarakuta, who's been a danger man last week and was very, very exciting against Wairapa Bush on the artificial turf. So looked to come blind, but yeah, it's easy to say from up here in the grandstand, gents. Blythe feeds, and they crash in the midfield through centre, Masawini. Half-back directing them to bounce around the corner to give themselves some space back open side, and Mbedi crashes up, the veteran of Mid-Canterbury rugby. And Riki looks to be organising his troops very well at first 5/8. Giving themselves options both ways, and danger times here. Number 14, it looks 11, Chisman. He's scored in the corner. Sorry about that, gents, but exciting play there. Koroi Tamana getting his hands on the ball, followed by Chisman. A great wingers try, lads.
Great try there. It's a good running by the number 8 for Mid-Canterbury there. Found the space, and obviously with a couple of men just a beat there, he made it. And out to Tate Chisholm to get the first try for Mid-Canterbury. Sees the score line now 5-6 here with the conversion to come. Beautiful day here at Boyd Park, and well put together try just from that kind of mistake made by the Valley at the line out earlier on in the piece as well. So you can see the team sucking up the nice cold water here, and they're going to need it on a hot day like it is. As we mentioned in the broadcast, the team's management, everyone, even the assistant referees and all that are all sitting up here. Must be very hot down there on the paddock.
Shows the danger that Mid-Canterbury possess, doesn't it, Ross? I mean, you give them any room, and one man flying outside of his line, it just shows you how much space it can offer outside. So Thames Valley will need to look at themselves defensively as Riki goes for the posts, and it looks like he's successful to take Mid-Canterbury out to a 7-6 lead after 15 minutes.
Yeah, interesting there what happened. Both teams are having short lineouts, and I think the big ball runners for Mid-Canterbury are standing out amongst their back line, crashing the ball up and then getting quick ball to these outstanding and very fast outside backs, and they just had an overlap there that was undefendable really in the end, because we got sucked into the ruck and let them carry on. So they'll have to look at their defensive work and make sure that the Valley get that sorted before the next few moments.
Doolan kicking off, goes to Bardi, the man who scored an outstanding try last weekend against the Bush, as we talked about. But Van der Valk looks to have his hands on the ball, but he's told to release it and he hasn't. So unfortunately the hooker, who is capable of giving away a few penalties.
That's really, I don't want to use the word dumb, but he had his knee on the ground for a long time. That Mid-Canterbury player, all he had to do was listen to the referee and let him go. Cost us good field position in a line-out, throw it into their line-out. So not necessarily a good thing, but he didn't find touch, so that's even better for us.
Joe Cook showing some serious skill base there, and they've gone straight to width, which is going to cause some chaos there. And Halafihi, the danger man, who's had a great Heartland Championship campaign, takes the ball into the 5-metre channel, but it's been turned over, which has happened quite a few times already in this game. And Mid-Canterbury, Mbedi looks to carry. Thames Valley coming up quick and shutting them down. Good line speed by the Valley, and they go width. Good to see their forwards chucking the pill around, but that's some Fijian flair for you. And Sefo Moniati cleans up for the Valley, pushes a pass, and it's been cleaned up by Dromgoole, thankfully. And They're going to go wide, and Doolan, nice little chip over the top there. He's going to have to go himself because everyone else is offside, and Doolan, what a try! That is individual brilliance. The crowd is up. That was fantastic vision from Doolan and great perseverance. What a try. Toddy Doolan, welcome back to Thames Valley Rugby, buddy.
Great to see young Sefel from Waihi get that turnover and pass away. But great kick and great vision from the Valley backs. I noticed both wingers are back, but they don't seem to have a fullback back in place. And maybe I'm just a forward looking at something wrong, but there's a big area of space, and I'm not sure where the fullback has gone.
Yeah, I think he was a little bit offside there, Coop. So, yeah, I'm not too sure what was going on, but yeah, a good fend there from Doolan backing himself, and it's got Thames Valley right where they want to be at 11 points to 7 with a kick to come.
And I just see Kangu or Dwayne Sweeney giving the referee a bit of a water, so he's obviously suffering under the heat. Nice, easy penalty, easy conversion here, and a good try in response to the Mid-Canterbury try.
As you can hear, if you can pick it up, the ground announcer, of course, your good mate Scotty or Marcus, how he loves doing this stuff. He gets the crowd involved as well. And as you can see, the try is converted in 13-7 here as we get underway with Riki kicking off for Mid-Canterbury.
Charging through, looks like it's not McVeary. Box kick option here, and Bonner, he'll look to go to the heavens, and that he does. Very high there, and Vasurakuta deals with it. Knocks it backwards, but he's cleaned it up, and he needs the support of his fullback in McCloy. Thames Valley sit on defence, and Mberi, who loves a carry, goes forward once again. And the 9 Blythe. Off to Riki, who drills it down to Himapol out of the Whangamata Club, a fellow teammate of mine, and he puts a nice spiral punt up in the air, which is going to cause some chaos for McCloy, which he plays a bit of football, bit of skill there, and he's cleaned up well in the end, but a kick that is a little bit marginal gives Himapo a chance to probe forward and a bit of force back, and Halafihi straightens up, gets taken around the ankles and sets it up just over their 10-metre line. Bonner with his hands on the ball, cleans up well, scrappy at the breakdown yet again. Quite a few forwards from the Valley having a suck in there and clean it up. Van der Valk, the hooker, offloads well, and Kutia, the strong prop. He's had a great campaign this far in the Heartland Championship. Bonner, off the... Oh, great hands, drum goal. He needs to straighten up, gives it to Cook. Cook bumps him off. Cook, can he do it? Cook! He grounds the ball, and that is a great team try, gents. Thames Valley stamping their authority on the game, going to where their strengths are out wide, and Joe Cook, the lone player out of the College Rifles in Auckland, has shown what talent he's got out wide.
Had to do a bit of individual stuff there at the end there. Big couple of guys, 3 guys to be exact. But yeah, good ball in hand there by the Valley back line there, right out wide there. And a couple of guys for on the beat just shows Joe Cook is hungry and in for a try for today. Sees the try with the conversion to come. The current score at the moment, 18-7, as the Valley boys head down off the grandstand and get a bit of sun, but also warm up as well.
I've just noticed, Scotty, that some of those big boys for Mid-Canterbury are sucking the big breaths, and I think they're going to struggle with the fitness of Thames Valley, but great couple of tries, wasn't it? Fantastic. Just shows the spirit in the side after Mid-Canterbury went in for their first try. Try from Todd Doolan, followed shortly 2 minutes later with a try from Joe Cook. So fantastic. Right on the touchline, so we've got a great view of this kick, and let's hope it goes over.
Yeah, I think everyone's been wanting to see what Joe Cook can offer for this Thames Valley Swamp Foxes side, and that's just it. He's a big frame. He normally plays at centre, so he's slightly out of position, but give him a bit of space and a one-on-one, Joe Cook's going to do the job for you, so well done. And Todd Doolan will look to have the continuous perfect record so far today, and as Ross said, a perfect angle for us here in the grandstand.
You can hear over there.
Slightly hooks it to the left, and we're having a little bit of a giggle why Toddy was going in for that kick, because the big man who played for the Valley a couple of years ago, Sitivini Tupou, his mum and his father are over there playing their sounds, enjoying today's rugby, and probably not the easiest for Toddy Doolan to keep concentration during that kick with all that vocal going on. But McVeary's tapped it back for Van der Valk well there, cleaned it up. Bonner's going to look to feed to Axtons. Axtons cuts it up. Fotofili in with a good clean out there. And they're going to go to the air again. It's worked for them this far. It's been messy on the counter-attack, and the Sun's proving, oh, gee whiz, the Sun proving a real danger there for McCloy. Tied it up, but Van der Valk, he's a scrapper of a man. Bonner, he'll look to feed to McVeary, who's had his hands on the ball a lot this year in 2021. Bonner, quick ball. Ctas needs some support, and a miscommunication there. McCann, if he had fed that pill, would have been through untouched there, but Seffel, good offload ability, he's done well, and a nice pass there by Van der Valk as well. Just needs to follow up and clean out the breakdown now. The crowd up about something. Matty Axtons, it's good, really good play here from the Valley, building pressure. Mid-Canterbury slow off their line, so it's giving Thames Valley a good opportunity to attack, and oh, gee whiz, obstruction the call, but Doolan, he was through untouched.
He looked good then. He looked good, gentlemen. I thought he was in for a second try for today, but yeah, obviously referee Cam has picked it up and crossed over the fellow player as well. The boo and the yelling before you saw was the winger for Mid-Canterbury lifting up Cook. Legs up in the air, and the crowd was like, oh, here we go.
I think he put him back on the ground safely, though, Reno. But great work from Thames Valley. Good continuing pressure being built. They just need to keep that pressure on, and I think some of these Mid-Canterbury boys are finding it a little bit hot.
I don't blame them either. I mean, we're sitting up here in black polos, and we've got no sun on us, and it's very hot and humid. But Burrell, he's had a perfect record, the hooker for Mid-Canterbury, and they'll probably look to go to the back of the line out where they haven't been touched yet. But unfortunately, a low throw means Van der Valk, who's had about his fourth carry in the last 2 minutes, hands on the ball, and McVeary carries forward, gets him to the 10-metre line. Toddy Doolan puts the ball into space, and he's done well, and it's not quite a 50-22, but great vision by Toddy Doolan.
Playing a simple pattern, aren't they, Scotty? You know, with the Valley, they have a couple of hit-ups and then create a bit of space and use the second or third line that's available, and they're putting it into the corner and building pressure that way through ball maintenance and good decision-making. A couple of line-outs have gone to Valley from their throw, so it'll be interesting to see if the Valley get up here.
Nearly.
Dromgold doing a fantastic job there. He's a bit of a pest when it comes to line-out time, and it was messy, but they look to have cleaned it up, and Bonner comes back blindside. McVeary straightens up, and there's some big contact out there, ladies and gentlemen. We can hear it from up here quite clearly, and Matty Axtons, who's carried hard all game, and he's found himself a nice little hole there. Lafatuanai wanting to get his hands on the ball. Fred Fotofili, the man who unfortunately has missed quite a few games, but he's a big frame and always takes a couple of men to take him down. Bonner probing around the breakdown. Couldn't find a link.
Thames Valley have a penalty advantage here.
Big Seffel, the call-up. He was playing emerging rugby a couple of weeks ago, but it shows you the pathway that lads have here into a starting jersey for the Swamp Foxes, and he is not looking out of place one bit. Picking and going. Again, dummy runners. Fotofili be wanting to get himself a second meat pie for 2 weeks in a row. Halafihi, he can't keep out wide. He wants to get his hands on the ball too. Big overlap. Unfortunately, a few guys getting a little bit hungry for the ball. Tali Himapo, flat. Yet again, a lot of flat attack here from the Valley, not giving them a lot of depth to attack from. McVeary, perseverance seems to be the call here from the Valley.
I think patience is the other call, mate. They've just got to build it. Here it comes.
Axtons, he's scored. Great patience, great build-up. Thames Valley racing out to a 23 points to 7 lead.
Great to see Thames Valley. They're probing again through their big forwards and their pattern. Reno, I think their pattern is working particularly well because of the ball maintenance and the fact that they are being patient. So great try there for great Valley try, a whole team try for Thames Valley. So good work by both forwards and backs in that long build up for that try.
Good ball in hand there, Ross, and well controlled. And the patience, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, just had to rely on patience, and the Valley have showed it today. Obviously, they brought a game plan to play in the mid-Canterbury half, where they've been pretty well dominant for most of this first half, even though we're in the 26th minute, and the scoreline shows 23-7 at the moment, with the conversion to come. So good team effort by Thames Valley. Forwards in backs, just about everyone holding the ball, but just putting it back rightly, patience, and look, they got the try there to, of course, Matty Axton's, with the conversion to come by Todd Doolan.
Yeah, Reno, a lot of that comes down to the breakdown, and they have been working hard about clarity and cleaning out, and a conversion successful by Toddy Doolan, taking the Swamp Foxes out to a 25 points to 7 lead at the 27-minute mark. But just going back to that, and when we talk about patience, it goes into a bit of detail, and nailing those rolls, coming through the gate, moving bodies at the breakdown, it does give you clear ball, and Thames Valley proving that when they hold the pill, they can put points. So a good first half this far, and they want to take this cleanly and play the ball down the other half of the ground, which they've done so for the most of the first half. And Halafihi bumping off Burrell the hooker quite easily. And Fotofili, he's carried a hell of a lot, and he's made a seriously good break, the strength man. And he's passed. Oh, it's great vision. Vakapuna Atoni's cleaned up. Vakapuna Atoni passes it back to Fotofili, and that, if he can score, McCann, he's been killed. I don't know what's happening over there. It's too far away, and they've expect and go. And it's a great try to Halafihi, the danger man on the wing, who started it off to Fotofili. Gee whiz, we are excited here at Boyd Park in Te Araha. It's hard to keep up, lads.
Oh, exactly. It was a good run there by, of course, the number 7, Frederick K. Fotofili, who made the big barnstorming run from the kickoff there as well. Then ball in hand went through the players, and now to the try scorer, Tavita Halafihi, who gets another try, who's been outstanding over the Heartland Championship. Conversion to come on. You'll see the score at the moment on the live stream, thanks to Ctas Live. It is 37 here at Boyd Park. A big game currently underway, and I tell you what, the dominance of the Thames Valley in the first 30 minutes or so brings another exciting 50 to go. Obviously, we said about it in the broadcast, gentlemen, Mid-Canterbury sucking up the big ones at the moment. Is obviously the captain for Mid-Canterbury, goes and asks the question, but Thames Valley looking like they're on fire in the first 30 minutes.
Very impressed, Reno, with the play of the Thames Valley forwards, their support play, the running lines, etc. Great to see Matty Axton hitting his straps, and just fantastic to watch. I think, to be fair, they're falling off their tackles in the midfield, and that's a little bit of a worry for Mid-Canterbury.
To be honest, obviously Mid-Canterbury staying over in Tauranga, a good hour and a half trip over here today, and it looks like they're still a little bit on the bus, to be honest, gents. And it's probably one-on-one tackles that they'd normally be making, but they are slipping off. And Thames Valley, with their support play, like you said, Coops, looking dangerous. And Doolan lines up the kick.
Straight down the middle.
Ryan Rogers and Aaron Miller raise their flags, and that continues the perfect Thames Valley first half. 30 minutes into the game, we're at 32 points to 7.
Interesting thing, Reno, when you look at Thames Valley, they've not played that well together as a team in the previous 4 games. They've had patches, but today something's happened. They've just hit their straps and everybody's having fun. So it's great to see, and they're running hard and taking the tackles and sitting up well. Good on them. It's great to see.
Yep, they're coming to play, obviously, Coots, Scotty, they're coming to play in running game in this beautiful weather, and the big run up front by Halafihi gets it out there and kick it down to the fullback. As he's looking in the sun, he actually takes this one, does McCloy, and he kicks it back down there to, of course, Himapo, the fullback.
50-20 option on, if he can look for that vision, and he's done so, Himapo. Good little dig into the 22. And it looks like number 11 there, Chisman's going to clean up. And he might put it to the boot, but he's isolated over there. If Drumgold can tackle him, and he's done so. Bit messy at the breakdown. Cam Stone letting the play flow. But Mid-Canterbury are once again finding themselves down in their half. But Kroi Tamana looking dangerous, but he's put his foot out. Ryan Rogers with his flag up over the far side. Unfortunately, Mid-Canterbury, they just aren't putting pressure on, and they are not being patient enough, gents.
Yeah, and I think the thing you touched on it before was the bus trip. They fairly late getting to the game. They look tired, and the weather, we can talk about the heat, etc., etc. It's the same for both sides. But when you're running with the ball in hand and you're putting the pressure on, you're going forward, you look up from a ruck and the backs are running out wide, it just makes it so much easier. The other thing that I'm a little bit amazed at is the work of the Thames Valley forwards in the line-out. I thought Mid-Canterbury would have dominated that area, but through smart choices and putting 5 in and having 5 separate people jumping, it's their line-out work. Credit to Matt Ralston, who's the forwards coach, is working really well for Thames Valley.
Yeah, I think you've got to look at their attack. They just haven't held the ball, Mid-Canterbury, and it's credit to Thames Valley. They've held the ball, and they always say, you play rugby with the ball, it's a lot easier than without it. So credit to Thames Valley going back to the basics. And Coops, you've raised some really good points. I mean, I think we are tough critics of our home side sometimes, and they probably haven't hit their straps as much as they would have so far this season. But today, 32 points in 30 minutes. It's looking exciting, but also their defence seems to be probing when they have to.
I can see shades of that game against Wanganui in 2018 when they double tackled those big boys down there at Wanganui, and the same's happening today. Every time that Mid-Canterbury have a line out and they get the ball, they've got 2 forwards standing in their back line, and the Thames Valley boys are coming up really quickly, putting the heat on and making the big tackles, and we're actually turning the ball over, so it's great to see. Thames Valley ball, and then the line out, we'll see what happens from here. Good attacking position.
Just a break and play here, gentlemen, with their number 8, who's had some barnstorming runs for the Mid-Canterbury team, Ctas Koruitamana, who's just been looked at by, of course, I'm guessing the physio or trainer for Mid-Canterbury at the moment, looking like he's going to go back in the back line just to rest this one out a little bit at the moment, being down for about a minute or so. So as we get play underway, we get the ball thrown in from the line out by the number 2 for Thames Valley, Sam van der Valk.
Hitting his mark yet again through drum goal. Doolan taking the ball to the line, and Axton's running in line, which we had about 3 different attacking weapons there, and Axton's good clean pill. Vakapuna Tony only knows one way, and that's straight, but he's been stripped by Burrell the hooker. From Koruitamana showing he's got the skill set of everything, taking play down into their half for the first time in a while.
Yeah, good work for Mid-Canterbury there, getting the turnover. Mid-Canterbury using the number 8 and the number 4 all the time in the back line off line-outs, either to defend or attack, so they've done the same again. So twin prongs there, inside, outside centres and second five, so it'll be interesting.
Good dart by Van der Valk. He has really hit his mark this far today and playing really good footy. And Axton, who's carried a lot so far today, carries the ball, and Doolan's gone to the heavens, which he knows is a bit of a weapon because that sun is proving difficult. But Ctas just sort of waiting for the ball there, and it's being tapped back by one of their own Mid-Canterbury players. Number 11, Chisman, the try scorer for Mid-Canterbury, cleaning up as he has done, and he's earned himself a penalty through the referee, Cam Stone. Yeah. Yet again, not supporting body weight, and that's been highly refereed this year in the Heartland competition.
It's the same story again. They go past the player on the ground and put their hands on the ground, not supporting the body weight, and it's a problem that we've had all year, but the coaches and the players are aware of it, but it's hard to break those habits, Scotty.
Oh, it sure is, and I know here in the Thames Valley referees were very hard on it, so it's not like this is new to the players, but in the past, you've been able to, and it is hard for the player to try and change the technique of going in and cleaning bodies. Line out, Burrell feeds. Mbedi takes it down, and the hooker's got it yet again. It's a move that they've worked many times in the Heartland competition, Mid-Canterbury, although Thames Valley matching them on defence. Penalty advantage from Cam Stone. Looks like Bardi, the lock's going to carry, and he goes back door. Trying to give them some space, but not quite possible, and no advantage there due to a bit of obstruction. So they're going to go back for a penalty, and you'd have to say it's too late in the piece to go for the sticks. They're going to have to go for the corner. Yeah,
it's interesting, isn't it? They've, I think the game's just about bolted, but the captain, number 8, he's doing a fantastic job for Mid-Canterbury, and he's rallying the troops with his running, and also the fact that he's carrying a lot as well. As you say, Scotty, the D has been outstanding today for Thames Valley. So they're into the corner in the line out, good kick, and so we most probably will see a big drive come on here.
Yeah, we've seen obviously them drive a couple of times so far today. Thames Valley matching them, but if they can get a good roll, get that maul nice and long, keep that ball away from the valley. Watch out. They go to the front, nice easy pelt, and they've worked a little manoeuvre around the front of the line out, but it's going to be another penalty. No arms in the tackle. So another penalty, and with the line out being messy, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a scrum here. It's been a while since we've seen penalties today. As you can see on the replay, we'll get a clear indication of what happened at the front. Might have been taken in the air there.
Yep, Ashton McCarthy, the number 7 for Mid-Canterbury, taken there. But yeah, as you say, Scotty, taken in the air there. And they've gone for the corner again with a throw in from the hooker, Cullen Burrell. Let's hope they, for Mid-Canterbury's sake, get to take it in the middle there to pass to Thomas, takes it down for Mid-Canterbury. They want to drive and get it close to the line. They've got a bit of a rolling maul going on here, getting stronger. Mid-Canterbury right on the try line, nearly close on the try line, actually just above it.
Try time there. Looks to be the hooker, Burrell, at the back there. We'll see who they're giving the accolades to when they get up. And it's the hooker Burrell there, Callum Burrell, who's actually from Tauranga, talking to his mum and father earlier in the week about coming to watch their son play. And well deserved, as you can see on the replay. Some good perseverance and a good tight maul.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing there, we picked it anyhow, was their line-out strength first and foremost, and secondly their ability to drive the ball over, something that Thames Valley will need to be wary of in the second half, which is very close, 3 minutes away according to the clock. They're all huddled up there, Thames Valley, but it's good to see a bit of fight in the Mid-Canterbury boys, so good on them, a well-worked move, and in the end a simple try from the forward drive.
It's Tom Reiki, the first 5 for Mid-Canterbury, gets ready to line up the conversion. You'll see the score 2 on the screen, 32-12. Does he add another 2 points? Yes, he does. The touch judges raise their flags. The assistant referees on the sideline, and you'll see the score line now, 32-14, only a couple of minutes away from half-time.
Gee whiz, how good has their goal kicking been today? Both teams, only the one miss off the boot that we had a bird's eye view of, but kicking's been strong from both teams, not just goal kicking but also tactically, and Toddy Doolan, he'll be looking to put this ball deep, and Thames Valley will be looking to lock things up for a good first half performance. He's gone short, nice and competitive there, and Dromgold being a pest, but a few knock-ons there.
Missed by ref.
Stone's just going to play on there, and Burrell, the try scorer, he crashes it up the hooker, who's had a pretty good first half there. Blythe looking to feed, and he does throw, and Riki's going to go to the heavens. A Gary Owen, as you'd say, going into their half, and unfortunately Axton's the only foot he's put wrong this far in the half, knocking that ball on, and Stone's going to let it play. Cries of obstruction, but no. And Van der Valk has not clearly released there. But anyway, play on, and the hooker's kicked it on. I do appreciate that a lot. But no advantage. Referee Cam Stone, he's going to go back for a knock-on. But then again, it just shows you how quickly this game can change, going from defence to attack, and a lot of space around the back there.
They've got to keep, Thames Valley got to keep their minds on the job here, Reno, because, you slip in for another try and it's suddenly it's all on again. So Thames Valley just not panicking, but just turning the ball over there, unfortunately. Great work by the Thames Valley hooker there. Man, what a fantastic steal. Wasn't to be, but nevertheless it was a great effort. Not sure about the kick, but he could be proud of it being a hooker. I thought he did well just to get the ball off the player.
As you get ready for the play to continue with the scrum, just about half-time here at Boyd Park. Going to feed on the scrum 2 is the number 9 for Mid-Canterbury, Hayden Blythe, and maybe another move from Mid-Canterbury to come before we do hear the half-time whistle. We'll see what happens from the scrum. Good strong scrum, good push here by Mid-Canterbury, good drive up to the 10-metre line in the Thames Valley half. They're still moving it.
Moniati getting absolutely buckled there, Reno, the tight head prop there from Thames Valley. Some good pressure coming on from Adam Williamson, so it's going to give them an opportunity to go for the corner, and let me guess, you'd be a betting man not to go against the line-out drive, especially with the success they've had so far.
Yeah, he's got to get the kick into the corner first. But, Thames Valley just falling off a few of the basics at the moment, which is not pleasing. Great kick by Mid-Canterbury. This will be another drive I'm picking.
Good kick there by the fullback, Nathan McCloy, only finding, well, I'm guessing about 10 metres, not even 10 metres out from the try line for Mid-Canterbury. Yet you're right, gentlemen, there'll be drive, I would guess, here. They've been doing it all day, and here we go, right down to the back, and taken them by Manasa Bari.
Look to have sacked it, and so they've had to peel off, and that they have. Unsure who's made the carry, but Mid-Canterbury, they will look to give it to their big forward pack, and it's going to be a good test for the Valley. They need to hold them out here. Karoitamana fed it back in for Williamson, who's been buckled, and Axtons looks to have his hands on the ball. Penalty advantage coming the way of Mid-Canterbury. Yep, unsure what's happened there, but I don't think a clear release is going to be the call, and so Cam Stone with a double blow. Maybe a little bit of mess and a little bit of frustration for both teams.
Coming up here, Scotty, so interesting to see what he says. It was a marginal decision in my book, but we're not down on the ground level. But you've got to think that it was pretty desperate, and I thought we had all rights to that ball, but I might be slightly biased.
Coops, how many games have you played for the Swamp Foxes?
Yeah, a few.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with you, Ross. Scrum is the option here for Mid-Canterbury, so they're going away from the line out. Successful scrum just before, which earned them the penalty with Moniati.
They've certainly got the wood on in the scrum when they get it together. Valley got to be careful here they don't deliberately wheel it and give away another penalty.
Yeah, penalty try range here, and we haven't seen one yet in the Heartland Championship, but a good free kick option, but I would imagine they're just going to settle for a scrum here. And remember, Karoitamana, he's probably been the highlight for Mid-Canterbury so far this in the game, and he's definitely going to be a threat going blindside, so Matt McCann better have his eyes up.
Very important scrum, this one. 1 minute to go, or time's up on the clock, so yeah, we're going to be desperately defending this. Look for the number 8 to have a little dab here.
Blythe to feed. Messy. Karoitamana peels off with a mess going on, and it's a penalty advantage from referee Cam Stone. The right winger, Vasura Kuta, gets his hands on the ball. He's sick of waiting. Imagine the big boys are going to truck it up and Mbedi, but that's surely going to be some obstruction, but I'm not the referee. Remember that, ladies and gentlemen. Not sure what's going on there, but it definitely looks messy from up here, gents. And it looks like this is going to be a final warning for the Valley. So discipline. Let's hope it doesn't end up in another yellow card, which they've had quite a few this season.
Yeah, I think pressure's on here, isn't it? They've got to keep their discipline, but also pretty powerful play by Mid-Canterbury Reno in the way that they keeping the pressure on, just maintaining the ball and going for those tries close into the ruck.
And they are feeling the dominance of their scrum, looking like and feeling like they've got the better of the Thames Valley boys so close to the trial. And look, they're going to set another scrum, and I'm guessing you want the number 8 to pick this up and try something. But we'll see what happens is Blythe gets to feed the scrum. This will be about the 5th or 6th scrum in a row now. All of a sudden, as we're in the 44th minute of the first half, and see what the Valley boys can do here. Defence been key for the last couple of minutes. We'll see what Blythe will do and see what the number 8 will do for Mid-Canterbury. Big drive again, another penalty.
Penalty advantage. Karoitamana peels off, but he's been taken well, and Axton's going for that pill again. Vasarakuta wanting to get his hands on the ball with the big lock of Bardi. They're getting hungry. But no, they go backdoor. Enrique's gone for a kick out wide to Chisman. Chisman with not a lot of time, and it looks like Tali Hemapo's done a fantastic job in cleaning that up. But as Cam Stone walks back to his mark, he's got his yellow card out, and he is going to be awarding it to someone. He's going to be awarding it to the big man, Sefo Moniati, out of Waihi Athletic Rugby Club. Ross, I'm sorry, you did a few sessions with him throughout the year. I'm going to put that down to you.
I don't think so, but, they've had 4 or 5 penalties in the trot, desperate times, and it's going to be even harder when you lose your big man up from the front row. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here, because they'll have to run on another player. Thames Valley are going to be under the pump now.
Yeah, you'd imagine they're going to take McCann off. They're going to take a loose forward off to put big Tyler Ralph on, the prop. So obviously James Higgins, he's made himself down to the ground, the sub-controller, to go and make the change.
Here he goes.
Unsure what's going on. They're actually going to take it back off.
Yeah.
So Halafihi's going to come off, isn't he, Reno? And Tyler Ralph, the prop out of Mercury Bay, is going to make himself put himself into tight head. So a few changes there for the Valley, and Halafihi sacrificed for 10 minutes.
Going to be a scramble on D here, because we're one back down, aren't we? But that's not a bad choice.
Blythe feeding.
Yeah, big strong scrum by Canterbury. Is expected to right on the try line. They're right above the try line. It's another penalty advantage.
Penalty try, I think, gents. Oh, no, they've actually scored it.
They scored a try, yep.
There's a lot of pointing going on here. So
the referee, Scotty, was going to go for a penalty try there at one stage, but I think he's awarded the try. Now, that's interesting, because if he's awarded the try, he shouldn't change his mind, which is most probably better for us. I reckon it came off the foot instead of the hand.
Yeah, looking like they're giving the tap on to Karis Brook Tumalatai, who may have scored the try there. But yeah, all indications did look like the ref was going to run 2 under the post for a penalty try. It's just been penalty after penalty. Unfortunately, not going the way of Thames Valley, but a good strong effort by the Mid-Canterbury forward pack as well. Something had to give in the end as they right into, 7 minutes over half-time.
If Tumalatai scored that, that's the first time I've ever seen a prop score from a pushover try. So that's some serious skill base from big Tumalatai. And Mid-Canterbury, they'll be chuffed going into half-time with the score deficit of 32-19. But obviously, with Riki taking this kick, they might even close it up to 32-21. Good angle for this kick yet again. Oh, he's drilled it. Great kick. Great kick from Riki. And Mid-Canterbury taking the momentum into the second half, lads. Gee whiz, how tides can turn in the good, exciting game here today.
Definitely in the last 10 or 15 minutes of that first half, Valley had it all going there midway through the first half, Scotty, and everything was looking exciting. Just a few minor things went wrong, and Mid-Canterbury showed they don't want to give up. Like you say, they trailed from Tauranga, looked a bit tired there in some of the parts, but they've come to play and they really turned it on that last 17 minutes, I would guess, of that first half. As you see the score currently here at Boyd Park, 32-21 to Thames Valley. So we'll see what happens.
Interesting. They went back to their success story, the scrum, and put the heat on through the forwards and did it very, very well, Reno. And I think the other thing that Thames Valley need to be very wary of is the fact that they keep persisting in giving penalties away. We can debate whether they were real or not, but the referee's the sole judge, and I'm not going to criticise him at all. But, when you're under the pump, you've got to have the discipline's got to be 100%, and that's a bit of a disappointment that they gave away 5 or 6 penalties, and good on Mid-Canterbury. They stuck to their guns and scored a great try. So, as you say, Scotty, you don't see many props get over from a pushover scrum, but that's okay.
Yeah, look, I mean, it is tough to judge from up here, but you have to give it to Tumalatai and Williamson there, the front row of Mid-Canterbury. They are putting pressure on, and Thames Valley scrum has been vulnerable at times in 2021 in this Heartland Championship. So they would have done their homework. And Jason Rickard, a former front rower himself, he's definitely got some tricks up his sleeve. So a 14-man Thames Valley will come back in the second half. with Tafita Halafihi off the field, they lose one of their most attacking weapons. So I think we're going to leave you for a couple of minutes over half-time. Well, I will. I'm going to leave you two to chat if you want. And gents, we've got a serious second half ahead of us, don't we?
We do. Mid-Canterbury will come out obviously fired up with the Valley team coming out with 14 players. There's only 11 points in this now, and Valley had a very good dominant first half here at Boyd Park. Don't forget to the dates to remember for the centenary Thames Valley Rugby Union Football Union centenary. That is on the 26th, 27th of August. So look forward to that. Save those dates, 100 years. Ross, that'll be a special occasion.
Oh, the fantastic, the centenary. A lot of work's already gone into it by the group that are organising it, and will be fantastic over here at Te Araha and next year, and we're looking forward to that. But getting back to the game, Reno, beautiful conditions, not a breath of wind anywhere, sun shining, and look for a very, very close second half. I think Mid-Canterbury very happy to get back into the game and get those points, and of course their goal kicker making a little bit of a difference with the conversion. Thames Valley just need to revert back to running the ball at them. They lost a bit of ball, and you've got to give credit to Mid-Canterbury. They stuck to their guns and scored right on half-time. In fact, it was about 3 minutes after the half-time whistle should have gone, which we were hoping, but never was to be. But nevertheless, Thames Valley leading by 32-21.
Back soon for the second half commentary here at Boyd Park in Te Araha. Enjoy the live stream. Thank you to Ctas Live providing the live stream wherever you may be watching at the comfort of your home or anywhere in the country, whether you're here in New Zealand, which we're currently spending a big day with Super Saturday, people getting vaccinated and so forth, doing their little bit up and down the whole country. Vaxathon is what's been introduced today as well. But if you're watching overseas, good to have you on board. We'll be back very soon for the second half of the Bunnings Warehouse Provincial Rugby Heartland Championship. We're going to have a break. Back in a few more minutes.
Who got the first try for Mid-Canterbury, do you know?